captain, number 7, Mike Hunter. Starting at forward, junior, number 3, Kevin McGann. Zach Smith. And starting in goal, senior, number 00, Garrett Gunther. The head coach of the Sultans, Danny Martinez. His assistant, Rich Hunter. The managers, Janaea Floyd and Joe Weber. And the trainer is Aaron Weiss. And now let's meet the starters for the Aztecs of Montgomery High School. Junior, number 16, Nico Mejia. Starting on defense, junior, number 8, Raul Gonzalez. Starting at forward, senior, number 17, Alejandro Aguilar. Starting on defense, senior, number 11, Mario Campos. Starting in midfield, senior, number 9, Marcos Zendejas. Starting in midfield, senior, number 7, Luis Carrillo. Starting on defense, senior, number 19, Francisco Naredo. Starting at forward, senior, number 13, Juan Rocha. Starting on defense, senior, number 15, Chris Garcia. Starting in goal, senior, number 0, Ricardo Hernandez. The head coach of the Aztecs is Juan M. Gonzalez. Our officials for this championship game, the referee, Peter Olfsesser. The assistant referees are Richard Parks and Brian Coney. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your championship game participants. Just a reminder that Montgomery is the home team on the scoreboard.
The CIF Division II Finals in the boys high school category. It is Montgomery Aztecs against the Santana Sultans of Santee. Greg Porter, happy to be with you here at Southwestern College, the campus of the Apaches. Now let's get your lineups for the Montgomery Aztecs. So Montgomery is in white and a off green, and then you have purple and black of Santana. Montgomery's lineup reads this way. Number 2 is Jonathan Delgado. The freshman number 3, Douglas Greek. Freshman number 4, Miguel Silvas. Number 5, the sophomore, Pedro Trujillo. Number 6, Adrian Trujillo, the sophomore. Number 7, Luis Carrillo, the senior. Number 8, a junior, Raul Gonzalez. Number 9, a senior, Marcos Zendejas. Number 11, Mario Campos, the senior. The sophomore, number 12, Daniel Bevan. Number 13, the Metro Player of the Year is Juan Rocha. Number 14, Luis Castro, the senior. Number 15, a senior, Chris Garcia. Number 16, a junior, Nico Mejia. Number 17, the senior, Alexandro Aguilar. Number 18, the junior, Jorge Sandoval. Number 19, the senior, Francisco Naredo. And that is your Montgomery Aztec lineup as they are now racing down toward the Santana defensive half of play. And making a play there is the third man we're going to mention here, Chris Deschamps. The lineup for Santana, the Sultans, Jerry Bell is number 2, senior. Number 3, junior Kevin McGinn. Number 4, the senior Chris Deschamps, as we mentioned. Number 5, the junior Brian Rodriguez. Number 6, the junior Brian Wyrick. Number 7, the senior Mike Hunter. Number 8, the junior Ryan Henshaw. Number 9, as the free kick there for Montgomery, as the Sultans put the wall up in front of the kicker. And tapping it over, and a goalie is able to make the save. Garrett Gunther. Ben Blodgett is number 9, the senior. Senior number 10, Joe Garcia for the Sultans. Number 11, the senior Kyle Rutherford. Number 12, the freshman Justin Bell. Number 13, a senior Scott Caravillo. Number 15, a senior Matt Dalrymple. Number 16, the junior Craig Wirrick. Number 17, the junior Gabriel Stevens. Number 18, the junior Johnny Hunter. Number 19, the senior Zach Smith. And 0-0, the goalie is Garrett Gunther. The head coach is Danny Martinez and Rich Hunter. For the Sultans of Santana and Montgomery, the Aztecs are coached by Juan M. Gonzalez. Ricardo Hernandez is the goalie for the Aztecs of nearby Montgomery High School. Montgomery now with the attack to the near side, trying to control. It goes off the defender, Armando San Vicente. On the attack on that last play, and a throw-in. Naredo off of a body and now controlled by the Sultans. Santana High School traveled a long way to play in a CIF championship game here in the South Bay. The boys Division II final. The Sultans in the middle of the field trying to get that soccer ball was number 7, Mike Hunter, and he was ridden on the back. So Mike Hunter will take just inside the circle the free kick from long distance, gets it in the 18-yard box, a header, and on one bounce a save for the Aztecs. And Ricardo Hernandez, and he sends it all the way downfield, looking for his teammate, trying to run onto a deer. Rocha, the Metro Player of the Year. Metro League. Couldn't quite get to it. The Sultan player goes back and heads it forward. That was Chris Deschamps. And it's knocked out of play there by Mike Hunter coming over. No score in a soccer match. Just a few minutes gone, about 5 minutes gone in the first half of action. The year Y2K final for the high school game of soccer. And now it's sent down in a defensive half. Montgomery, defender, kicking it up to field, and now number 11 corralling it there. Kyle Rutherford, or rather that was Campos, and Campos sending it all the way down where Garrett Gunther gets it. Gunther, the senior, going to give it a ride, and he does. On one bounce, a couple of players from Montgomery converging, and now it ends up to the outside now. Jerry Bell, and Bell could not control as it goes outside. Bell wearing the colorful red shoes. The contest on your picture. Chris Deschamps sending it all the way down, a couple of bounces. And Hernandez has it. And Ricardo gives it a ride. Past the center circle. With a header heading towards the outside, and meeting the fence there was number 10, Joe Garcia. Garcia, the senior, hustling hard on that attempt to keep it in. Going to be a free kick. The violation against the Sultans. Free kick for Montgomery. Look like he's going to take it is Chris Garcia. Garcia gets it off a teammate who ricochets it up in the air now. Rocha had it, and he got it to his teammate Zendejas. Boy, Zendejas, a very popular name in Southern California, as a couple of Zendejases have restaurants. They used to play in a game of American football, Luis and Max. And that one, as it goes off of play, and it's going to be a throw-in for Santana. And the Montgomery crowd doesn't really like that one. They're sitting to the near side of us. On a line drive, and he tries to redirect it to his teammate, Bell, but it went past him. Mike Hunter. Hunter with a little space, gets it to the outside to Rodriguez. Rodriguez centers it to the middle, to the near side, trying to run it down is McGinn. And McGinn with the body there. Goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. Norito. Francisco on a couple of bounces. It bounces over to his teammate Zendejas, who gets it up in the air. Norito again. Or Zendejas, rather, and to the near side now. San Vicente running onto it there. Can't do it as it's taken away nicely. Nicely done by Blodgett, and Blodgett hustling to the near side. Gives a player an elbow there. No call. Inside the 18-yard box. A couple of players trying to meet it there, and it goes over to Jerry Bell. Bell trying to get it to his teammate to the outside, and he was looking for Joe Garcia, and Garcia giving the defensive man a bump. And then Montgomery fans not liking that one. Up in the air in the defensive third. However, controlling it is the purple and black. Attack. Off of Bell and out of play. Going to be a throw-in. Throw-in will be taken by Francisco, the senior. Norito. Norito bounces off a teammate and going over to Zendejas, who tries the attack to the wide side. Here's Zendejas again, trying to get it over there to the stalwart Rocha, and it goes off a defender. So now the throw in from the far side of the field. In your picture, Campos trying to control, can't do it. So the Sultans would have throw in, and they want the fast track to the near side of the throw in, and it is knocked out of play by Bell, and it will be throw in there. No substitutions yet, but there will be. And players get winded. A nice corral there by Brian Rodriguez, and he sends it all the way down. And Hernandez gives it a ride. A good ride to the back line players, and coming out to make the play, and here we go. As the partisans from Montgomery making noise. A little cheer to get them going. And there's no offsides call there. San Vicente trying to work a play to Rocha and getting back to help out. Good job by Deschamps. Chris Deschamps getting over there to help make the play, and now it's going to be a substitution. Coming out of the contest for Santana High School is Joe Garcia. Coming in now is Scott Caravillo, the senior. Chris Deschamps, the senior, for the Sultans. Trying to get some air underneath the ball, get it way upfield. He gets a nice bounce. A couple of players trying to go for it, and now kicked out of play. Coming over there to make a nice defensive play is Pedro Trujillo. Trujillo says, I'm not going to let you go any further, and he gets it out of play to allow his teammates to get back and play some defense. They throw in now. Trying to control, can't do it. Running onto it very, very nicely. However, getting back to do a fine job on that play was Ryan Henshaw. Henshaw saw that ball to his outside, and he had to get back and make the play. The Aztecs trying to get the counter going to the near side. Using deft ball skills and trying to get it up forward. And a little bit too far, but San Vicente, they were actually offsides on the play. So it's going to be a free kick. No score in the CIF Division II Championship under some cloudy skies here at Southwestern College. Greg Porter, happy to be with you on your George Langevin Video Sports Productions. One bounce, it goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in. Been a couple of years since I've been involved in the high school championship call, but nice to be back. Take a few trips around the world and come on back. Here's a throw-in, a nice throw-in by Zach Smith. And maybe it wasn't so nice. Actually, there was a violation on the play on the field, and holding his head there is Narito. And he's not feeling too good right now. And the center ref going to blow stoppage of play momentarily. Not quite injury time, and now he's going to get a start. Very little injury time as he's able to gather himself. Well, I tell you what, that doesn't, as that one is kicked out of play by the Aztecs, does not feel good when you are head knocked by another player. One of the things that a lot of the sports physicians say that why the game of soccer is very, very rough toward the body because of the injuries to the head. This one put up in the air. And a nice save there by Hernandez. Hernandez showing he has the ability to have the soft hands and make the play coming off the line. Got to make a good decision that time, and he did. Bouncing it off of Rocha. Karams over to his teammate. Here's Mejia. Mejia on a line drive. And the save by Gunther. It was an offsides call anyway. But Gunther says, I'm in the game. Coming off the line and making a judgment anyway. Can't wait for the refs. Got to make the play. Montgomery, the Aztecs, trying to get their defensive attack going towards the counter, and they do. Sending the ball down the middle, and an offsides violation. Boy, he was trying to look for San Vicente, and San Vicente got caught in a trap. Offsides trap. Sent down on one bounce, and it goes all the way down in the corner. Nice job to elude a player was Chris Garcia there. Sent it all the way upfield. The Aztec with numbers to the near side, coming over and making the plays, Deschamps. Nice play by Chris. Playing a little defense that time was San Vicente. Armando sensing their opportunity to try to get a counter on the near side, and he knocked it out of play. The throw in. And they get coming over there to knock it out of play was Narito. So the throw in now by Deschamps. Trying to operate with some space, and they get the pass to the outside now. Try to find numbers in the box. It bounces over, and he just could not either get a pass or get the type of kick he wanted, he being Kevin McGinn, the junior. So it'll be a goal kick. And McGinn pointing to his leg there saying, I didn't get it where I wanted it. Substitution for the Aztecs coming into the contest now is Ernesto Hernandez. And to the outside there, a substitution for Santana. And they're going to get a couple of, well, one player actually coming in. That's Craig Weirick, the junior, number 16 in purple and black. To the near side now. On one bounce, it goes, or a few bounces, it goes all the way down and corralled by Gunther. Just about 23 minutes left to play in the first half. No score between the Aztecs and the Sultans in a CIF Division II final. Now here's the Aztecs trying to get a play going at midfield there. And that was action by Nico Mejia. And he's going to get the satisfaction of that play. And they're going to get a free kick just inside the midfield stripe. Chris Garcia looking for a player in the box. And he got one, but it was a little bit too high. And Gunther corrals it now with the goal kick. Or rather, not a goal kick, he just decided to kick it. Goalie kick. Trying to get on sides is the Aztecs. Nice job done by Deschamps to get it upfield, but Hunter could not keep it. This one sent on a through ball into the corner. Staying with it is Mejia, but doing a fine job as the Sultan player on the outside there, Blodgett. And Blodgett making sure, and now Blodgett was a little bit too hasty as he continued on with the play, and he's getting a little verbal warning, not quite the yellow card, on the player that he knocked over. And so now it's going to be a Montgomery free kick from 10 yards outside the 18-yard box, and a header, and he just couldn't quite get it downward. Nice attempt there by Marcos Zendejas. The senior would have loved to have that opportunity again, because he feels the next time I get it down and I get a good accurate shot at getting a goal. Coming into the contest for Santana on the far side is going to be a goal kick. And the center ref talking to one of the players on Montgomery. Albeit here in the first half, the refereeing staff probably going to go with some of the verbal warnings and then figure out how that's going to go. And if that doesn't work, they'll probably start issuing yellow cards. Here in the corner, trying to chase it down, as coming over there was Deschamps. And as Ernesto Hernandez was trying to, with the green shoes, trying to make a play. Deschamps was on the play. Good cover job by Deschamps. You got to get over in that corner, and you've got to get your body on that ball, or else Hernandez is going to be alone for a big play. That one was knocked out of play as Deschamps racing across the field, and Deschamps showing that he is well aware of what he's got to do in this big championship game here in the first half. The throw in for Montgomery in the 18-yard box. Deschamps being able to get it up forward, and moving in is Scott Caravillo. Caravillo out racing a couple of players. He gets it in the middle. Bell, and his attempt to try to get it to McGinn went awry, but Bell is still on it now. Coming up there is Mike Hunter, but it's taken away. And this one is sent on the fly, but it couldn't quite get Hernandez to get to it. A little bit too far. To the outside now. The Sultans trying to do the quick counter and a throw in. 19 minutes left to play here in the first half, or thereabouts. No score. The throw in for the blue and black in the 18-yard box, but it is headed out by the defender. On a hasty triumph forward, a shot back, but then quickly the Aztecs get the counter going. And nice play by the defender there, and that was Ben Blodgett, the senior. Blodgett has to make that play, or else he's got a man on the wide side who's going to move into the box very quickly. And a violation. So it's now going to be a free kick. Zach Smith And Zach Smith, the defender, getting it up all the way down the field. Bell now trying to work against Trujillo. Or rather Trujillo, and it goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in now. Or rather a free kick violation. Mike Hunter. Hunter inside the 18-yard box. Got a teammate up in there, and he just couldn't quite get it into the net. Up in the air was Kevin McGinn, the junior, and McGinn just couldn't get it to go the direction he wanted it to, enough to get it in that net. Going to be a substitution. Coming out of the contest is Craig Wyrick. Wyrick is coming out. Actually, two players came out of the contest. Actually, 10 and 9 are in now. Joe Garcia and Ben Blodgett is in the contest. The other player that came out was McGinn, number 3. So Santana with Blodgett and Garcia back in the contest. Here's Hunter. Hunter sending it up forward to Scott Caravillo, trying to operate with some space down there, and he can't do it. It's good defensive play by the defender there, Chris Garcia. Both teams having a Garcia, Joe Garcia for the Sultans and Chris for Montgomery. Sultans now trying to get something of a counter going. And there's a nice little pass, but a couple of defenders are there to make the play. Montgomery High School knowing success here as of recent. They've had some stalwart athletic players getting the job done for them in the way of CIF play, getting into the championships of the various respective sports. Saw him in the championship recently in a game of baseball. And here they are in soccer. Ball up in the air, running out of room. Taking a look at it there was Hernandez. Hernandez wearing a colorful green fluorescent shoes. The throw in by Chris Deschamps. Deschamps looking for somebody in the box to trap the ball and make a play, but he does get a man to run onto it there, and he'll get a shot on the save by Ricardo Hernandez, and he makes a nice fine play on the shot. That one was going away from Hernandez, and he found a way to get his hands on it and keep it from going into the net, as it had some English heading into top right corner on that blast. The Sultans with the best chance so far. 14 minutes left to play in the first half of the title game here, knocked out of play. Going to be a throw in now. Scott Caravillo is going to give way and let Chris Deschamps throw it in. Deschamps, the defender in the box. Couple of Montgomery players, and they're able to make the play again as Hernandez finds where that ball is at and is able to make the play and get it going upfield. And now Montgomery Partisan didn't like that one as a call. Goes for Santana. Santana will have the free kick. 5 yards outside of the midfield stripe, inside the 18-yard box. But a defensive player is there to make the play. And that is Chris Garcia, as he's made some good plays so far on the defensive side, the senior. The throw in inside the goal box area, and trying to get a foot on it was Jerry Bell. He couldn't do it quickly enough as the defender for Aztecs got to it first. Trying to make a play was Carrillo. Couldn't quite do it as the defenders come up, and now they drop one over into the corner now, trying to run it down. And now it's going to be a throw-in for the Aztecs. Hernandez going to give way to Nerito. Francisco gets it in the goal box area. It's tipped by Gunther to the other side. And now racing after it is Roja. Roja using his body to shield the ball. It goes out of play. And it will be a throw-in to the near side. And the center ref coming over to make the play there was one of the blue and black, and they figured, well, if I don't hear it, I'm just going to keep playing. Here's number 2, Jerry Bell, trying to operate with some space. A nice slide tackle, and it is going to be a violation, though, against Chris. Chris felt that he made the type of play he needed to make that was legal, but he doesn't get the call. And so now a free kick about 5 yards outside of the 18-yard box. Mike Hunter for Santana. Mike Hunter is going to pass it, and a blast and a save by Ricardo Hernandez, and Hernandez is down on the shot, maybe shaken up a little bit there. Hernandez makes another good save, and boy, he's been the goalie of the game so far, as he's had to make some point-blank save, as the shot by Blackett was right dead on, and if he doesn't make the play, it is going to be 1-0. Santana testing the goal duties there of Ricardo Hernandez, and he is up to the task here on a Saturday night. And running after it is Santana's defenders. Giving it a ride was Deschamps. The Aztecs trying to control, they do, as they're in the center circle now. The ball is ridden off and sent up forward, trying to chase it down, but Gunther's going to get to it first before Nico Mejia could get there. Here's Mejia now, and he can't quite get to it. As getting over there to make a nice play is Deschamps, and he's done that so far very well in this game. And now it is going to be a violation against Santana, and it's going to then substitution coming in now is Alejandro Aguiar. So Aguiar into the contest now. Zendejas and a save by Gunther on the blast. Gunther had to show his ability in the goal box, and he makes a nice play to get up and get outstretched hands at knocking that ball down with not really a rebound. Nobody was around anyway. And the violation is going to go against Santana. Hotly contested match with 8 minutes left to play or thereabouts here in the CIF Division II final here at Southwestern College, home of the Apaches under cloudy skies. No rain as of yet. Going to be some though. And Gunther has to make the play. And a nice job done there by Ryan Henshaw, the junior. Junior Henshaw made the good decision to use his body to shield the player away from the ball and allow Gunther to make the play. If he does not do that, then Gunther will not make that play, and it's going to be a 1-0 score. You got to have smart defenders, and Henshaw showed that he is one of them. Long throw by Santana. Down and a collision. Trying to stay tough is Caravillo. And the Aztecs get it and get the counterattack going. Running onto it with the blue hair is Aguiar. Aguiar sending it down to his teammate in the middle. Here's Aguiar again, and it goes past Carrillo and out of play. Aguiar trying to get it back to Carrillo, and they say it went off of a Santana defender. Here's a throw in. Burrito, a couple of defending players there. Bounces up, heads towards midfield, a couple of guys back. And making the plays, Garcia. Garcia gets it back to his teammate Campos. And let's see now. Spirited game here in the Division II final. And why not? It's the way it's supposed to be. Players laying it out there on the field, as they have worked hard all year long to get to this point. Showed a lot of skill also. He's there wide open, a shot on the goal! Alejandro Aguilar.
Montgomery goal, scored by number 17, Alejandro Aguilar. The assist to number 13, Juan Lucha. Time of the goal, 33-17.
Aguilar was able to find enough space, and he showed how dangerous he can be to get it past Gunther and get a goal. It is 1-0 Montgomery, and hold on, is this going to be a penalty kick? It could be, yes it is. It is going to be a penalty kick, and oh man, what a turn of events for Montgomery. Montgomery had the defensive ability to try to make the play, but they made it illegally in the 18-yard box, and it's going to be one of the most dreaded plays for your defense to give up the penalty kick in the world's famous sport. And now it's going to be number 7, Mike Hunter. Hunter against Hernandez to try to tie it here in the Division II final. Hunter, and he scores! A goal for Mike Hunter.
Santana goal, scored on the penalty kick by number 7, Mike Hunter. Hunter on a penalty kick. Time of the goal, 35 minutes even. Score is now tied.
So at the 35-minute mark, Mike Hunter scores the tying goal on a penalty kick, and boy, you hate to have that happen in a title game. But they call it, and Hunter converts. And boy, was it a nice kick by Mike Hunter, because he made sure that there was no chance for the goalie, completely faking him out and putting it to the left post. Beautiful penalty kick by Mike Hunter. Tied up, 1-1. Boy, I tell you what, you really have to make a concentrated effort to get back into any kind of contest, and they did after giving up the goal, the beautiful one, and then getting the defensive violation and then converting on the offensive point-blank try. And here is the guy who scored the goal, Aguilar. To the near side, it goes out of play. Undoubtedly, Montgomery, the high school, is a lot closer here to Southwestern College. Over there in Chula Vista, and they have the partisans that don't have to travel that far in mass numbers here, and they really giving their high school team a lot of enthusiasm to play in this game. And Santana having their partisans come from Santee a long ways away, but boy, they were happy to see that last goal to tie up this one. Montgomery now trying a passing attack, and they figure we will do what it takes in midfield to try to get something going, but again, the defenders have played quite well for Santana. They've had to. And then going back now, trying to put pressure. Caravillo. And trapping it there, Mike Hunter. Hunter can't control it, and so he'll give way now. And to the outside on a long through ball. Carrillo trying to get it to his teammate. He couldn't quite get to it, but here he is again. It's blocked. Nice job done by Ryan Henshaw. Boy, was that a blast by Carrillo, because if Henshaw doesn't get there to block it, he's going to be putting a very, very hard shot on the goaltender, Gunther. Here he is again. It's headed out and knocked away. The ball bounces to the outside here. The counterattack still ensues. Metro player of the year, Juan Rocha. Rocha inside the 18-yard box, having troubles now. And it's stolen away and knocked out of the far side touchline. Rocha trying to operate to the far side. And here's the throw in. Rocha has it. Rocha falls down, takes it away. Henshaw. Henshaw's made some couple of good plays so far here in the first half that he's had to make. One earlier where he was able to shield a player away from the ball. And he makes a nice play there. 1-1 on your scoreboard. Just moments left here in the first half, and a very exciting game here at Southwestern College, the Division II final. Mike Hunter, who scored the lone goal, trying to advance, and his space was cut down quickly there, nicely by Pedro Trujillo. Trujillo kicks it out of play again as they try and get a play going in the 18-yard box. Santana trying to make something happen and see if they can get one that demoralizes you right at the end of the first half. This one in the 18-yard box. It bounces around now, trying to control the blue and black, but he comes out, it's in front. Nobody can get a foot on it. What a great play by the defense of Montgomery. And a player knocked down, McGinn. And let's see what we have here, a yellow card. And now we have some pushing and shoving. The yellow card given. They don't like the activity that went on that last play. And the Montgomery teammates coming over to make their statement known. And it's going to be now a free kick, as leaving the contest is McGinn, Jr. And coming into the contest is Garcia, Joe Garcia. Here's a free kick done by the goalie. One bounce in the middle of the field now. Trying to look for some speed to the outside, but there again is that guy Henshaw. Henshaw and a couple of, was that a couple of whistles as signifying in? No, it wasn't. It was just a whistle blown. On a free kick now, Joe Garcia trying to do it. And a timeout by the center ref. And he's going to come over and talk to Narito. Don't know what the discussion was about, but obviously making his intentions made as play continues. 1-1 here in the championship game of Division II. And the whistle at halftime.
That's the end of the first half.
The score at the end of the first half of action, Montgomery tallying the first goal, but then coming back quickly on a penalty kick is Santana, and it's 1-1. Stick around for the second half here in the Division II final. The Division II CIF final here in the second half, moving from left to right, is the Santana, and moving from right to left is Montgomery. 1-1 is your score. Just had an opportunity to talk to a man by the name of Franz, who's like the pioneer of soccer here in San Diego. And boy, when you get a chance to talk to a person like that, you just begin to get filled up with the joy of this sport, and it is quite a sport. It really is. And it is something that is developing here, as you saw the play in the first half, and it is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, especially in the South Bay. It is blown up tremendously because the South Bay of California, San Diego being so near to Mexico. And that's their #1 game in country of Mexico, just to the south of us. Gunther making the save, and on one bounce giving it a long ride, a good 50 yards downfield. Trying to control. To the nearest side, it was Rocha. And on the back of Mejia, and he'll drop it off. Nico Mejia is going to have the free kick from about 45 yards out. Ball ping-pong around and ends up upfield. Trying to control now. And let's see now. Violation against the Aztecs, so it's going to be a free kick. With 1-1 on your score, the Aztecs and the Sultans of Santana High School, way out in Santee. Free kick for the Sultans. Looks like Mike Hunter is going to take it, with the wall being applied by the Aztecs. Hunter chip shots it over to a few players there with numbers, but they could not corral it. It goes upfield now. Scott Caravillo, and Caravillo was looking for his teammate Garcia. Couldn't get him to run onto it, and there is Deschamps, who plays it out to the wide side. Quickly taken away by Carrillo. And now kicked out of play. Lots of fire and desire in the hearts of the players out on the field in the first half. And lots of good technical stuff out there, and which made it an outstanding first half of high school soccer, which ended in a 1-1 tie. Undoubtedly, you'll see that same kind of activity by both teams here in the second half. And Hinshaw, who played a fine defensive first half, called on a violation there. Nico Mejia, the junior, going to take the free kick. Mejia sends it on a good angle, but it was knocked out of play. However, Sent back toward the goalie by the sophomore Luis Carrillo. Gunther made the save and puts it up in the air from the semicircle, part of the 18-yard box. On one bounce, making the save is Hernandez, who played a fine first half for the Aztecs of Montgomery High School. He had to make some point-blank great saves in order to keep it only a 1-1 tie. Trying to come inside with that soccer ball was Luis Carrillo, and he tapped it a little bit too far as Gunther was able to make the play. Trying to control now there is 17 Aguiar. Aguiar is the man who scored the goal. The lone goal so far from Montgomery. Goes out of play and it will be a throw-in. Hunter, and this one a little bit too far for his teammate Jerry Bell to run onto it. And a little bit too far, as doing a fine job there was Deschamps on that opportunity by Aguiar, 17. Aguiar goes to the opposite side of the field trying to get to the ball, and they're going to call a violation. Violation against Blodgett. And so now it's going to be a free kick. Free kick for Montgomery High School. The Aztecs trying to vie for a CIF Division II championship here at Southwestern College. This one sent in the 18-yard box, but up in the air is Gunther. A little bit too far for his teammate, Marcos Zendejas, the senior. And the ball is going to be going in the direction of the Sultans and Mike Hunter to tee it up. Hunter with the free kick. Hunter looking for somebody in the box. Chips it in. Gets a man to head it, and a save by Hernandez. Hernandez able to corral the soft hitter. Zendejas, and then trying to get it to his teammate. However, the defender is there, but it rolls onto the foot of Carrillo, who sends it to the middle now. Here's a shot, and nice drop off that time by Zendejas. He allowed Aguiar, who scored the goal, to try to get a good shot, but he didn't get quite enough of an angle that he wanted on the shot on that last sequence for Montgomery. On a counterattack, Bell gets it over and a point-blank save by Hernandez. Scott Caraville, the senior, he grabbed his head and he said, man, I had an opportunity just a few feet away. But undoubtedly, he wanted to try to tap it over the goalie on that last sequence. He didn't get an opportunity to do it. And a couple of players collide here, and it goes way up into the stands of the other side. The Sultan partisans who's come down here from Santee. Obviously, tonight it's a little bit warmer down here than it would be up in Santee. In the 18-yard box, it bounces off a couple Aztecs players, and then it goes out of play. Nicely done to get it out of the danger there. Juan Rocha. And Rocha playing defense there. Coming up to intercept with that header is Chris Garcia. Garcia getting up to Mejia. Mejia try to get it in the center, taken away. Trying to shield with his body and doing a nice job there was Joe Garcia for the Sultans. Goes to the outside, though, and the Aztecs have it. The long ball played to the outside and out of play. It'll be a throw-in. Throw-in for the Sultans in a tie game. And a Montgomery partisan to the near side, going ahead and getting the cheer going for their team. And now running onto it is Zendejas. Zendejas down the middle. Marcos. Two teammates of the Sultans come together and make a nice play on Zendejas, not to allow him to go any further. Ball goes up in the air. Man is kicked out of play. There's a little physical play there on Jerry Bell, and Bell goes tumbling on that last sequence. Now, obviously, the partisans from Montgomery like that. And a violation this time a little bit too much against Bell. Played on Bell, actually, and because of it, the Sultans will have the free kick. This one chipped in the 18-yard box, but it is headed for the Garcia, who made the play. Hunter is tripped, and he's going to get the call. Hunter, the man who had the penalty kick for the Sultans, is the reason why it is tied at 1-1. Just a few minutes after the goal by Alejandro Aguilar. Back in the first half, around a 30-minute mark, somewhere in there. Speaking of 30, we're down inside 30 minutes now, at about 29 minutes left to play in the game. Here's Mike Hunter, a chip shot, looking for his teammate, but Hernandez comes out and makes a play again. Ricardo, he has to get up in the air and make a decision, and he makes the right one, getting it in his hands and now giving it the kick in midfield. No doubt Ricardo Hernandez has been the stalwart goaltender in this contest. Gunther's done a fine job too, but Hernandez has had to thwart many of key opportunities for the Sultans of Santana. Here's a near side throw in, about 10 yards past. Actually, the spot is a couple of yards past the midfield stripe. It bounces one time, and then sending it up in the air is Chris Garcia. And out of play, so they'll get a measure of about 15 more yards to be able to work towards that 18-yard box. Chris Deschamps playing in his last game for Santana High School, getting enough of it on there. There's a couple of players. And now the Sultans, they still have it. And a violation with the foot, a little bit too high on that play, dangerous. Well, I tell you what, if you ever thought that the game of soccer is not one that you're going to take some lumps and bumps, just get out there and play it. You'll find out. To the near side, and trying to keep it in is Brian Rodriguez. He couldn't quite do it. He ran out of room. Substitution for the Aztecs in Montgomery. Coming out, the man who scored the goal is Alejandro Aguilar. And coming into the contest for him, number 20, Alvaro Zendejas, the sophomore. He's got a couple more years to play. Up in the air, and it goes out of play. Boy, I tell you, that one was kind of tricky. And Gunther making the right decision. Make sure he covered his area as much as he could in that goal net. 1-1, a CIF Division II championship here at Southwestern College. Greg Porter, happy to be with you on your George Landerman Video Sports Productions. This one is sent on a long ball played by Deschamps, and Deschamps kind of redirects it back to Gunther. And Gunther and the Aztecs, Marcos Zendejas, having a couple of words. And Zendejas undoubtedly letting him know that I'm going to continue to come at you. And don't let me have a point-blank opportunity. And, of course, Gunther's saying, I can stand to whatever you are going to try to dish out. So the little mental war goes on, and obviously that's a part of it, as well as the physical play. As the game ensues, and you got to be able to have the physical stamina. Here's Mike Hunter placing it nicely on a header, and a goal! Mike Hunter to number 13, and that is Scott Caravillo, and it's 2-1.
Scott Caravillo, the assist to number 7, Mike Hunter. Time of the goal, 54 minutes, 10 seconds. The goal by number 13, Scott Caravillo, for Mike Hunter, and 54-10.
And a substitution, Kevin McGinn, a junior, comes into the contest, and he gets a round of applause from the Sultan crowd. They like the way he plays the game. Mike Hunter showing that he can be on the other side of the scoring action. As he did that, and McGinn trying to tip it, and there's a shot by McGinn and a save. And boy, I tell you what about the goaltending of Hernandez. If he doesn't have the ability, I tell you what, that would have been a 3-1 game. Because McGinn comes in and he quickly gets something on the net. And now, here comes Montgomery's counterattack down the middle with Gunther. It is blocked, and then getting back to make a play, but let's see now. It was an offsides violation on that counterattack. Bell comes off to get a little bit of assistance there as far as how they want him to play, and Montgomery by no means with 24 minutes left to play in this game out of the contest, as they have put a lot of pressure, but they have found a way, they being the Sultans, to make the plays when they've needed to. Chris Garcia trying to do something with it was Rodriguez. He couldn't do it, and now trapping it and getting it, and he'll go! Marcos Zendejas. I just mentioned that Zendejas had been talking to Gunther, and he said, "I'm coming at you," and he showed on that play that he is not going to stop. And it is 2-2. Two to two is the score, as a great individual play by Marcos Zendejas, the senior, on that last sequence to trap the soccer ball and then kick it past the goalie. And Gunther was pretty much in position, but here's Zendejas again, and it's kicked out of play. Nicely done by Chris Deschamps. Deschamps seeing Zendejas trying for another opportunity, a possible go-ahead goal. Corner kick, and Montgomery making noise on the sidelines as they come back to tie this game here with about 22 minutes left. This one trying the heading attempt there by Zendejas. He couldn't quite get enough on it as it goes out of play. Going to be a throw-in now, and center ref now talking to Santana, coaching staff. Zendejas, he tried to back with the back of his head, tried to get that ball to a teammate. Nobody was there. Nico Mejia, and it goes out of play. Boy, I tell you what, again, as I mentioned earlier in this first half, that the Montgomery Partisan didn't have to go very far to get here to the championship game. Their high school located in Chula Vista, and boy, are they turned up the notch on the volume. Here's a nice played pass with two defenders there, and there's Mike Hunter, and Hunter kicks it out of play. Boy, if Hunter didn't come back and make that play, that one would have been a very dangerous play for the defense. Here's McGinn. McGinn over to Bell. Bell in the circle. Bell sending it all the way down, and that one's going to be caught as almost like a pass by Hernandez. And Hernandez gives it a ride back in the defensive half. Up in the air. In the middle now, McGinn. McGinn and the ball went on the outside, and McGinn tried to continue, and McGinn is going to get a yellow card. He's been asking for it, and he's going to get one. And they give him a red card. I guess they're just going to go right to the fact that McGinn has done too much in this contest, and boy, does that really hurt Santana, as they're going to lose a man in this one, and McGinn is beside himself. He is beside himself, and he needs to get control of himself, because this is high school soccer, and that's not what we need here in this championship game. And McGinn going a little bit too far, and the center ref says, I don't need that in a championship game, and you will exit. And McGinn now being warned, and they're going to tell McGinn to leave the premises. Kevin McGinn is going to have to leave the premises, and that's pretty sad. You don't want to lose your train of thought in a championship game where the sportsmanship should be somewhere in there. And when you do that, you cause yourself problems. And you cause your team problems, because now they have to play one man down, and nor do they have McGinn as a substitute. He is now out of the premises. They definitely have to rally if you're Santana, even though the score is tied, to try to make up for the space, and it already is going to be a tough thing because Montgomery knows how to play this game. And here they come again with numbers inside the box. They try to head, no, couldn't do it. Here's a point-blank shot, and Henshaw makes the play, coming over to knock it out of play. Nice job done by Ryan Henshaw. And he's going to need his teammates to make up for everything out here, because there's always going to be one man free in the box. You got extra players, one extra player because of the red card violation, and this one is sent out of play by Narito. Two to two, 18 minutes or thereabouts left to play in a championship Division II final. Substitution for the blue and black. I guess if you call enough CIF finals, you're going to see different things, and it's been a long time since I have seen a player get kicked out of the game and out of the premises. I believe it might have happened one time before, but that was years ago. That I have done one for your George Landman Video Sports Productions. 9 and 10 now into the contest. Ben Blodgett, the senior for Santana, and Joe Garcia into the contest. And they're going to have a free kick. Looks like it's going to be Mike Hunter. Hunter, an all-dangerous player, and the Partisans for Santana make the noise, and a nice save. He was right on target. He tried for Joe Garcia, but of course, the stalwart in this game, Ricardo Hernandez, was there to make the save at goal. coming off the line. 17 minutes or thereabout left to play. Plenty of time. Both teams, though, knotted up at 2. Free kick. Chris Garcia in the 18-yard box, and coming out to make the play as an offside violation is Gunther, Garrett Gunther. Gunther on a line drive, gets it to Ricochet, over to Garcia, and a nice play though, coming over by Joe Garcia, and Joe looking for his teammate Jerry Bell, and he just couldn't get him to touch it. Bell dangerously in front of the goalie, Hernandez. This one is a through ball as the defenders weren't able to get to it. Garrett Gunther giving it a ride. Trying to get teammates to corral a soccer ball, and they do now, but it's stolen away. Mazandejas, a sophomore, and then trying to push it forward, and it'll be knocked out of play. But Craig Weirick gets a measure of satisfaction for his team as they get the throw in. Up in the air now, trying to control. Showing athletic ability there on that last play was Ron Roja. And he get it to his teammate who centers it up forward. Get the through ball, a violation. And so now it is going to be a free kick. Free kick just outside the 18-yard box for Montgomery. Tied up here in the CIF final, 2-2. Hope you're enjoying this one from Southwestern College as the lights take more of an effect as it gets more evening here in the South Bay. The long try, and nice save by Gunther as he makes sure there's no rebound. If there was one, boy, that would have been a great opportunity for a goal. But Gunther makes the play, sends it down the field. Joe Garcia, his teammate now, back in the defensive half. Garcia trying to run onto it, can't do it. Here is the sophomore, Alvaro Sendejas, trying to put pressure. He can't do it as Mike Hunter makes a nice play. Hunter down to Bell, but he run off by a few teammates trying to keep it going here on the attack, but out of nowhere comes Carrillo. Good play by Carrillo to come back and help out. On a bounce. And they say that was a dangerous play, so now it goes in favor of the Aztecs on a counter here. Trying to dribbling skills. He sends it to a man, and he just missed it, and it was going to be a non-play anyways. Here's a goal kick by Gunther. Looking for somebody to run onto it, and he does get that by Blodgett. They take it away from Blodgett. Nice cover ability by the Aztecs. Hunter on the back of Roja, but Roja doesn't worry about it. He gets it to his teammate, but it's stolen away and kicked very, very nicely. Got a man in the middle, Hinshaw. Or rather, that was Deschamps on that last big sequence, which trying to get it to Blodgett, and Joe Garcia saw Blodgett was not there. And that might be a sign of fatigue. And so here come the Aztecs. The Aztecs working a play. He shows great ability, misses it on a great try. He came down there, Mejia. He went around, he dodged, he juked, and he tried to single-handedly score, and he just couldn't get enough on it. Mejia, the junior, showing that he's going to be dangerous in this game, but more importantly, he's going to be around for the Aztecs next year. And here comes the purple and black. To the outside, the alternate number of Mejia, number 16, trying to keep it in. Of course, that's Craig Rearick, the junior. Interesting that they both wear 16 and they're both juniors in this contest. Throw in for the Aztecs, about 10 yards outside in their own defensive half. 2-2. 11 minutes left to play in a championship, and we'll go into overtime if we have to decide a champion of Division II play here in the CIF. Here's the Aztecs to the near side on the counter. Push it up forward to Juan Rocha. They already know how dangerous, the Metro League knows how dangerous he is, and a shot and a blast. A little bit too high. Chris Garcia trying to make it happen. A little bit too much on that one. And of course, Danny Martinez trying to make sure he's got fresh players into the contest. They're going to need all of that they can here in the second half. Montgomery with the good ball skills, and they've got the speed, and they will pressure your defense. Obviously, if they couldn't do that, they wouldn't be here in a championship game. And on the back, it's going to be a free kick, and you got to wait till the ref allows you to take the free kick, and it's going to stop right here for the ref to have them tee it at that spot, and they do it now. Goes off of Hunter. Defensive line doing a good job of making sure the forwards don't get free for Santana. A few bounces, Gunther corrals it. Gunther now is going to pick it up, as coming at him was Roja. It's the little nuances of the game, and Roja knows it, and that's why he came at him. Kicked up in the air, but that is going to be corralled, of course, by Chris Deschamps and kicked out of play. Nice effort by Nico Mejia. Mejia staying down for a moment there as the body of the defender and making him get up in the air to try to avoid the play there. Mejia still looking for an opportunity. Can't get one as it's sent up forward for the Sultans of Santana. Brian Rodriguez to the near side. Rodriguez drops it off for his teammate, Scott Caravillo. Caravillo's already got a goal in this contest, and he's a defender. Boy, I tell you what, the senior is happy. Scott. Play to the far side. Running onto it there is Zendejas. About 8 minutes left to play in the championship match. 2-2. At midfield, the Aztecs. Zendejas. Violation against Zendejas, so now it's going to be a free kick. Trying to quickly pass it to the outside, and it was taken away by Carrillo. So here they go with the counter. Trying to get in the middle, and a nice play. Chris Deschamps, a nice play to intercept that ball in the middle. And Deschamps makes another good play. But here's Rocha. Goal! The Metro Player of the Year, scoring the goal. And you would think that the game is over as everybody goes over to Rocha. But it's the effort, not just Rocha. The offense continuing to show that they are going to be undaunted in this game and get the go-ahead goal. And it is 3-2 now.
It's an assistance Montgomery leads 3-2.
And there is a yellow card, and that yellow card is against Campos. But I tell you what, it makes it very tough when you have one less player, and that has taken effect now. You're able to find guys with a space. Undoubtedly, there might have been an extra man to be able to play in that area, but he wasn't there. And Rochon was. And that's why they lead 3-2. No doubt you have to keep your composure, and you can't afford things to linger. And then when they linger, and then the officials notice that you have no intent on playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, that you want to turn it into something different, then that is when you find problems. And of course, it happened earlier in this second half with the Sultans losing a key player, Kevin McGinn. They've had to play without that player, and finally Montgomery able to work it to where they can get one of their top players free. And they did that, and they were able to get the goal. 6 minutes left to play. And no doubt fatigue has set in. It sets in for both teams, but there's no doubt that it has set in now for the Sultans. Of course, the thing, if you're Danny Martinez, you have to hope that your players will say to themselves, we've got to find a way to tie this match up, because we played relatively equal in this game and send it into overtime. And so, of course, he gets some fresh bodies into the game and see what he can do to make that happen. 3 players come into the contest for the Sultans. 17 is now into the contest for the Sultans. Gabriel Stevens, we haven't seen him in the contest. Back into the contest, Joe Garcia. And I believe Ben Bloggett is in there now too. And here's a play to the near side, trying to get somebody to run onto it. Down to 5 minutes left to play. Hunter trying to shield a man from the body with his body, but however, it went past him, and now here's Henshaw. Ryan Henshaw. And it goes up forward and then kicked downfield by Chris Garcia. Kicked a long way, but here's Gunther. Gunther makes the play. Nice job. He's played pretty well in goal. But he's had a lot of pressure. Substituting now, coming into the contest, is Campos. Trying to find Mejia, Nico Mejia with some space, couldn't quite do it, however, is knocked out by the Sultans. Again, the Aztecs playing with a lot of energy, and knocked down was Mejia, and it's going to be a free kick. Free kick for the Aztecs just outside the 18-yard box. And down within a few minutes left to play in a CIF championship of Division II. Hope you've really enjoyed this one here at Southwestern College. It has been a very hotly contested match. Here is one, and a nice job done by Silvas. Or no, that was Deschamps. Deschamps being able to head that ball out of danger. And now trying to come down the middle. And they don't allow Zendejas to continue with the play. On good defense there by the Sultans. But here's Zendejas again. He's been instrumental in offensive attack. Alvaro Zendejas tried to get something going, couldn't do it. Down by a goal. Here's the counterattack. Bell trying to head it to his teammate. Joe Garcia couldn't quite do it. Here's Henshaw redirecting it to Deschamps. Deschamps playing it down to Garcia. And Garcia goes out of play. Clock stopped up there on the Apache scoreboard here at Southwestern College, which signifies that it is kept on the field. Time running down. The all-important time. Not being able to make the play there, and so now here the Aztecs come again. Point blank try, and oh! Nice try by Carrillo. Boy, the senior would have loved for that one to go in. Couldn't get it to happen. And customary whistles now, as they know, on the Montgomery side, that is getting close. Going to be a free kick. The Aztecs partisan are standing here as they know now it is about time for this one to end, and they have the 1-goal lead. But doesn't mean they won't try on this one to try to get something going. It's blocked. Stalwart defense by Santana has made this game as close as it is. To the near side. Continuing to apply the pressure, Roja showing his speed. And let's see now. It's going to be a free kick, or goal kick rather. Santana's last great try here, and they need it. Going to be a free kick as one of their players goes down, and that is, of course, Blodgett. Blodgett and company, they need a big try here. Hunter has done it before. Moments left in the CIF Division II final to stand on both sides. Up in the air is Hunter in the 18-yard box to a teammate. They get Blodgett, and he scores! Blodgett, and it's tied. That wasn't Blodgett, it was my mistake. It was Joe Garcia, the senior, and Garcia ties it. And they go crazy on the other side.
Joe Garcia, the assist to number 4, Chris Deschamps.
Mike Hunter has done a great job at making sure the offense continues to apply the proper pressure by his free kicks. And this one is going to be offsides. 3-3. Doesn't get too much more exciting than this in a championship game. Moments left in this soccer match. And Santana, Santee saying, we're not going to go home without applying all that we can to try to win this game, even with one man down. You know, you got to be asking yourself the question, if only McGinn could have kept his head in this game, what kind of things could they have been able to do with him in there now? But obviously the guys in blue and black, as the whistle ending the first.
The score after 80 minutes of soccer.
80 minutes of soccer. 3 for Montgomery and 3 for Santana. That means they're going to play in overtime and stick around for the overtime session that is going to be ever so exciting as it has been in the first 80 minutes. We'll be right back. We will play 15 minutes of overtime soccer. Then, if it is still tied, then we will play a second 15 minutes of overtime soccer. If it is still tied, then it'll be co-champions for the Sultans of Santana and the Aztecs of Montgomery. Going from left to right in the first 15 minutes is, of course, the Santana Sultans. Going from right to left as they ended the first half is the Montgomery Aztecs. 3-3 is your score here in overtime. Fatigue definitely is going to be a factor playing in an overtime session. But then again, these teams have played all year long and adrenaline is definitely there. And so they're going to show a bunch of that in order to try to win this CIF championship in the year Y2K. Kicked out of play by Raul Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the junior. Throw in for the Aztecs. Nice bicycle type of a kick, and I believe that was by Henshaw. Deschamps, who was instrumental in getting the goal to Garcia. Trying to use his body to shield was Gabriel Stevens, and Stevens is going to be called for the violation. It is now going to be a free kick, indirect free kick. Indirect free kick. Nico Mejia. Mejia, it is blocked. Nice job done by Alvaro Zendejas to midfield. Almost touching it with his hand was Trujillo. Pedro, the sophomore, fortunately got his body and then kicked it upfield. Again, Gunther and Zendejas talking again. Remember, Zendejas has already scored a goal. Ball up in the air. Bell colliding with Chris Garcia. On one bounce, coming out is Ricardo Hernandez, who has played a fine goal. Here's Mejia. Mejia to the outside. Can't quite get it to go as the defense has played well on that sequence. Kicking it out of play, Gabriel Stevens. Stevens kicking it out again. Stevens has it now. Stevens getting it to go forward, but it was blocked nicely. And his alternate number trying to control for the Aztecs can't do it. Bell showing a lot of activity there. To the outside now. Here's Blodgett. Ben Blodgett makes a nice move. Ben Blodgett still on the ball. Blodgett can't go further as a good defensive play by the Aztecs. Stevens Henshaw. Taken away. Nicely done by Zach Smith. And goes out of play. It's going to be a throw-in. Throw-in for the Aztecs. George Lanyon Video Sports Productions on top of the broadcast booth here at Southwestern College. Enjoying this overtime play here in Division II final. I'm Greg Porter and really happy to be with you. Hope you've enjoyed this one. On one bounce, Gunther. And the partisans of the Aztecs in the crowd, stands saying beat Santana. Not going to be a tough thing to do or easy thing to do as shown in this game. Henshaw getting back to get it a foot and having a teammate send it to midfield. Hunter with the air attack. Intercepted. Play there by Raul Gonzalez, out of bounds. Gonzalez with a header to Zendejas. Couldn't get a teammate to control it. Knocked out of play there, running over Wyrick. But it was knocked off the player that was covering Wyrick. A throw in from the far side. Nobody to be there. Hunter getting it to Gabriel Stevens. Stevens still on the ball. Stevens over to Bell. Back to Stevens. Drops it off for Hunter. Hunter trying to get it to Bell, and it's taken away. Good defense. And Roja had a player on his back. It'll be a free kick. And Roja, in a good sportsmanship move, just kind of taps the hand of Bell and says it's okay. Zendejas. No doubt, these young men on the field really want this badly. Obviously, the seniors, no doubt, want this the most because this is their very last high school game. And when you get in the championship, you want to say you won it all. And a mistake, but Gunther is able to make the play. Gunther is able to make the decision on that play. And if he doesn't make the right one and show his athletic ability at goal, he would have gave up the winner. The possible winner, because it is not sudden death. They will play until the end of the period. 7 minutes left to go. To the near side, Stevens, or who is that? That is Caravillo. Had to ask myself that question. Caravillo getting it to Stevens, who has been playing in and around the ball. Stevens tossing somebody down, and in doing so, it is going to be a free kick. Stevens has to keep in mind it can't afford another player to be tossed out of this game. To the near side, and it goes out of play, looking for Stevens on that pass by Henshaw. Here's the throw. Trujillo trying to get his teammate to control it, can't do it. Nico Mejia. Here's the throw-in now. Coming around and knocking it out of play. So it's going to be a throw-in for the Sultans. And they might be having a substitution. They are. A couple of players being substituted for Santana. And a partisan crowd goes crazy on the other side as they see a couple of fresh players in there. And one of them happens to be the guy that scored a goal in number 10, Joe Garcia. The one that tied up in the last few minutes of the game. Henshaw looking for Bell, can't get it. Here's a shot and a nice knockdown by Hernandez as Brian Rodriguez, the junior, taking a long distance blast. Good job by Hernandez to get down and make sure that ball didn't tuck inside the post. Here's Hunter. Hunter looking for a player over with some space, can't do it. Take it away. It goes past Hunter off the back of the head of Zendejas to his teammates. Beautiful move to Mejia. Mejia trying to get it to a teammate down the middle, couldn't do it. Mejia made one of those internationally loved type of plays with the foot. Showing his playmaking ability. Gunther showing his ability to kick the foot, the ball a long way. And I say foot, maybe football, as it is in other countries. Kicked out of play. Running down to 4 minutes, still tied here in the CIF Division II final of the campus of the Southwestern College Apaches. The good throw in the 18-yard box. Hunter up in the air, and Hunter tried to get it to go. Boy, he got up there. It was a nice throw in, and Hunter got it to go in the direction, but it was just a little bit too far awry on the play. Substitution. The Sultans have a player come out of the contest. Ryan Rodriguez in a contest now. To the near side now. Trying to get the counterattack going. Rocha, who scored one of the goals, was a Metro Player of the Year in this season, 99 and 2K. Over to Mejia. Mejia and Rocha. 3-3 here in overtime with 3 minutes. And now that clock stops, so you know now you're inside 3 minutes left to play in the first overtime session. And only some 17 or 18 minutes left to play in this title game, because they will not, if it is still tied in the second period, they will not play anymore. And we have a timeout as Mejia is down, and they're going to check on him here in the CIF Division II final. And we're back to live action as Mejia is going to stay out of the contest and they get a fresh player into the contest. I believe that is their Armando San Vicente. Knocked out of play now. Throw in by Trujillo. Boy, I tell you what, these young men out here are definitely going to sleep well tonight. 95 minutes of soccer is just about being concluded, and Gunther makes a great play. Gunther knows that coming down bearing on him is Nerito. Or rather, Zendejas, number 9. If he doesn't make a great play on that last sequence, undoubtedly Montgomery would pretty much put it away because there wouldn't be enough time to score to get back. 3-3. Montgomery and Santana High School. Yet in the annals of high school soccer, there's no doubt that anybody around Montgomery and anybody around Santana will never forget this Division II final, because it has been hotly contested. There's been some points in the game that are not indicative of the kind of ways that either of the schools played a game of soccer, but then there's been a lot of stalwart play by all the participants on the field today. Heading towards the goaltender, Hernandez, and if he was not, for secondary, it looked like he didn't know where that ball was going. And he had to make a play at the last moment. And the call is going to go against Chris Deschamps, and Deschamps felt that he played that quite well. But either way now, here's a big chance for Montgomery. 3-3. And that is going to do it for the end of the first 15 minutes of action. Fans don't understand that the time is being kept on the field. And that's just a part of the game of soccer. So now they switch ends.
Montgomery 3, Santana 3. Once again, the team scoring
3-3.
in this period. We're playing the championship. If there is no score in the next 15 minutes, we will declare co-champions.
Going from left to right on your picture screen now is Montgomery here in the second overtime and final period of soccer here in the Division II final. Nobody scores. It'll end up as co-championships for both of these two high schools. Somebody scores, they'll be the champion. And this particular period, the one that is the toughest. You've played many, many minutes, 95 to be exact, and counting. And you've got to pull it all out. Whatever you had the whole season resting on this last one right here. The coaching staff trying to pull anything they can by using substitutions, positioning, what have you. Bounces into the stands over there in Santana. A long ride home for the Sultans up to Santee, but they want it to be a very, very memorable ride home if they can get a championship here. Montgomery, a very short ride home, but they want it to be one that is short and sweet. We'll see what happens here in the last 13 or plus minutes. Throw in for the Sultans. Rodriguez trying to get it to a teammate. Couldn't quite do it as it was taken away. Staying with the play there is Johnny Hunter into the contest, number 18. To the outside there is Brian Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the center, the senior, up in the air, and it's tapped away. Nicely done. The ball ricochets over to Joe Garcia in the near side, and he just couldn't quite get one to go in. Joe Garcia has scored one of the 3 goals. Wasn't going to be an extra one there. (16-9) back into the contest. Of course, that's Mejia and Marcos Zendejas. To the far side, Santana can't quite keep it going, as it's going to be a violation against them, and now it's going to be a free kick. Off the body of Rodriguez, or the header of Rodriguez, and he gets it up. Brian does for Santana to his teammate, Scott Caravillo, and Caravillo's collision. And they're going to call a red card. The red card is against Montgomery, Pedro Trujillo. And Trujillo's got to come out of the game. And now both teams are even as far as the amount of players on the field. Obviously, Trujillo didn't feel that that was the type of play that warranted the red card. But now both teams have the same amount of players on the field, as that one is saved by Hernandez. Trying to do something down the middle with speed. He's trapped in the box. Are they going to call it? Let's see. Rocha, the Metro Player of the Year, is trapped in the box. But let's see. Are they going to call it a penalty kick? It looks like they are. It looks like Rocha will get a penalty kick to try to win it. The Metro Player of the Year will get a great opportunity for his team, as the legs now are being worked on by his teammate. And it looks like Hernandez is going to take the shot. They're going to let the goalie take the shot. Hernandez against his alternate goalie, Garrett Gunther. Hernandez approached the ball. A goal! You hate to lose any kind of contest.
Within 5 minutes, 28 seconds, 105-28, the time of the goal, in 7-6 for the overtime.
You hate to lose any kind of contest in a world of the world's famous sport, soccer, but this one, in a very, very, very hard-fought match by both high schools, and there's no doubt that nobody is a loser today, but the Sultans end up as the finalists, and the championship goes to Montgomery High School's Aztecs of Chula Vista on an incredible game played by both teams. All I can say is that I hope that you enjoyed this one from Southwestern College as they celebrate the Aztecs are the 1999-2000 season CIF Division II champions. Stick around. We'll be back with some closing comments. after this.
Number 6, Brian Wyrick. Number 16, Craig Wyrick. Assistant coach, Rich Hunter. And to receive the award for the runners-up, the head coach, Danny Martinez. Ladies and gentlemen, the men's Division II San Diego section CIF soccer runner-up for the year 2000, the Sultans of Santana High School. Principal Dr. Marianne Straw and Athletic Director Dave Peterson. And now let's meet the champions. Number 1, Omar Rojo. Number 4, Miguel Silvas. Number 2, Jonathan Delgado. Number 3, Douglas Greek. Number 22, Noah Torrado. Number 12, Daniel Bevan. Number 20, Alvaro Zendejas. Number 5, Pedro Trazia. Number 23, Armando San Vicente. Number 6, Adrian Trujillo. Number 18, Jorge Sandoval. Number 16, Nico Mejia. Number 8, Raul Gonzalez. Number 14, Luis Castro. Number 17, Alejandro Aguilar. Number 11, Mario Campos. Number 24, Ernesto Hernandez. Number 9, Marcos Zendejas. Number 7, Luis Carrillo. Number 19, Francisco Naredo. Number 13, Juan Roca. Number 15, Chris Garcia. And number 0, Ricardo Hernandez. And to accept the award for the 2000 Division II CIF San Diego Section Men's Soccer Champions, the head coach, Ron Gonzalez. May take you. Thank you and good evening.
Change